Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today Wargaming wisely released their second devblog for this week. Today instead of yesterday with the devblog, of course, concerning missiles, as that's going to probably dominate the news cycle for this game for quite some time. But today we have another new devblog announcing a new battleship tech line, the Pan-European Battleships. Now, we got some leakage from these guys back during, I believe it was GamesCon, when they announced the Hawaii and all those mess of ships. Apparently, they announced these guys here, but I don't think they showed any images of them, or if they did, they were scrubbed from the interwebs afterwards. But today, we have the full devblog detailing what these new battleships are all about. And let me tell you, from perusing through the notes here a little bit, it's an absurd line. They never cease to amaze me, and I'm sure most of you guys too, with what Wargaming can come up with in order to make these lines more unique and such. So let's go ahead and get on into it. The devblog is linked in the description down below if you wish to read along as I read aloud. I will be throwing any relevant images or artwork up on screen as we go through this devblog. And while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if you enjoy these news videos, as I like to get these devblog videos, really any news concerning the game, I like to get that out as fast as possible to you guys. So if you like that, click that subscribe button for more. Alright, so the devblog is titled Closed Test 14.10 New Ships and Commonwealth Unique Commander. Captains, in this development blog, we are thrilled to announce a new branch of European battleships, a pair of premium ships, as well as the first Commonwealth Unique Commander. Better be like Steve Irwin.
Danger, danger, danger.
Alright, first up, of course, the new European battleships. A new branch of researchable ships is on the horizon in World of Warships. European pocket battleships, starting at Tier 4. It will feature 7 new ships, including the yep, you're going to have to deal with this, the Yavuz Sultan Selim, Chios, and Haiten, Gustav den Store, and Thor, which we are ready to present now. We will share details and images of the Tier 5 Tiketov and Tier 6 Loudon later. The new branch presents battleships of several European nations with smaller naval powers. Specifically, at the lower tiers, you will find both historical and hypothetical still giants of the Mediterranean navies of Austria-Hungary, Turkey, and Greece during World War I and the interwar period. The higher tiers shift the spotlight to hypothetical developments of Swedish shipbuilding.
Is totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up.
Which is one of the few nations in Western Europe capable of building major ships at the onset of World War II. The new European battleships rely on an array of armament and equipment to tip the balance of battle in their favor. Instead of going all in on the big guns, indeed, their smaller caliber main battery guns are not their immediate weapon of choice due to the long reload times and mediocre maximum range. That said, at the top of the branch, the Tier 10 Thor stands out for all of her great ballistics, making her more forgiving and rewarding when landing shots. Importantly, all these vessels feature powerful torpedo armament. At the lower tiers, they have underwater torpedo launchers typical of World War I, which up until Tier 7 are few and a bit slow. From Tier 8 onward, though, their torpedoes become more powerful in terms of speed, damage, and launching angles, enough to make enemies think twice before closing the distance. Another feature to boast, European battleships have very low detectability for their ship type, and, on higher tiers, pretty good speed, which gets even better with their time-based emergency engine power consumable available from Tier 5. It offers a significant speed boost, though only for a short duration. Starting from Tier 8, these warships get access to surveillance radar as well. So tech-line battleships with radar. Good God. At the same time, European battleships have relatively small HP pools, which means they have to choose their fights carefully. To somewhat counterbalance this offset, they have quite good armor. In-game, European battleships are deadly and stealthy, though rather fragile, predators. Take advantage of your concealment and surveillance radar to get closer to a chosen target and strike with your guns, followed up with a torpedo salvo. Use your high speed and emergency engine power to quickly relocate or get away from the retaliation, which can be painful in your case. Check your surroundings and watch out for long-range Titans, as these ships are vulnerable to broadside attacks. Alright, well, just from the opening bit there, it sounds like Wargaming went ahead and mixed like the Verbis Unitus with the Karl XIV Johann, because they've got good armor but low HP, torpedoes, smaller caliber guns, and like the Verbis Unitus has some very good guns for her tier, so it sounds like they went with that and like the torpedoes, like the Johann, rather than the Johann's, secondaries, which make her so great. So interesting design choices from Wargaming. I do like seeing that we will have real ships at lower tier, but then of course we're going to get into the fantasy land going forward. Neat seeing some Turkish, some Ottoman ships in here as well. So let's go ahead and start looking at the ships themselves. European battleship Yavuz Sultan Selim, Tier 4. Also, good thing too, this is pretty much a full tech line. Yeah, it is a full... well, it doesn't start at Tier 3 like most of the battleship tech lines do. I do wonder why it doesn't, but okay. But, 4 to 10, pretty much a full line. Nice change of pace from what we've been getting here normally with these half lines. Yavuz Sultan Selim started out as the Moltke-class battlecruiser SMS Gulben, being a general improvement over the first Imperial German Navy battlecruiser Von der Tann. She served with the light cruiser SMS Breslau as the German Mediterranean Division and patrolled the waters during the Balkan Wars. At the outbreak of World War I, both ships bombarded targets in French North Africa and were then swiftly pursued by Allied warships all the way to Constantinople. Due to the British seizure of 2 Ottoman dreadnoughts under construction, the German ships were transferred to the Ottoman Navy, helping to tilt still non-belligerent Ottoman Empire's favor toward the Central Powers. She took part in several engagements with Russian forces in the Black Sea, sinking several ships and taking heavy damage from mines. Retained in the service of the new Turkish Republic after World War I, she served as the flagship of the Turkish Navy until her retirement in 1950. Dang. Later scrapped in 1973. This thing was around for a minute. At the time, she was the last battlecruiser in the world and the last capital ship of the Imperial German Navy to be scrapped. I am surprised they didn't save that. Oh, man. I mean, good God, that is so sad. I didn't know that story there. That's... oh. Now I'm just sad.
That belongs in a museum.
Okay, so that's the Tier 4. Cool that that's a Tier 4 tech line ship. Alright. Alright, now the Chios. The Tier 7. Oh, that's right. They don't have the 5 and the 6 to show us just yet. A Mackensen-class battlecruiser that could have been given to Greece after World War I as compensation for the ordered but unfinished battleship Salamis. The ship was named in honor of the victory of the Greek army and navy in the Battle of Chios in 1912 to 1913. So it's a Greek Mackensen. Alright, so the Chios, let's just take a peek here at her stats. 52,000 hit points, 26mm plating. She gets 4x2 350s with a firing range of 19.1 kilometers. Yeah, okay. The torps, though, you get 5x1 600mm torps, 18,000 maximum damage, 9km range. That's pretty good for Tier 7. That's really good for Tier 7 on a battleship. A 100-second reload time. And what about her concealment? Concealment, 13.1 kilometers. Very nice, very nice. And this is where they get the emergency engine power. Total usage time, 90 seconds. Reload time, 30 seconds. Minimum usage time, 15 seconds. Oh, so they have so they're applying the same mechanic to the engine boost as they did with the American Smoke and the Sibir's Hill. So that's what they meant by that. I thought that's what they meant. The way they worded the description of the engine boost in the intro bit there. But yeah, okay. This thing though, what the heck is this? The Nahinton, mid-sized battleship that could have been designed and built in Sweden in the first half of the 1940s as part of one of the emergency programs to strengthen the Navy in the face of the country's threat to become involved in World War II. The battleship inherited her name and Heighton Unity, okay, from an 18th century ship of the line of the Royal Swedish Navy. Okay, what is this thing? So you get three guns in these turrets. She's got a 32mm plating, 54,000 hit points. That is quite low for a Tier 8 battleship. 22% torpedo damage reduction. 9 15-inch guns, 381mm guns, 19.9 kilometer firing range, 11,400 maximum AP shell damage, 30-second reload time, a sigma of 1.7 though. What's the reload time? Did I skip over that? Yeah, 30 seconds. Okay. 2x4, so you've got the deck-mounted torp tubes now. 533s, 10 kilometer range. That's, again, pretty good. 17,500 maximum damage from the torps with a 65 knot top speed. Alright. What's her concealment? Concealment is 13.8 kilometers. So, again, you know, when you build into it, it's going to get lower than that. So that's kind of nuts. Damage con, 15-second runtime, 80-second reload time. Repair party, 28-second runtime, 273.5 HP regen per second, 80-second reload time, 4 charges base. And this is where we get the radar. A 30-second, 10-kilometer radar. My God. Of course, you can build into that too as well. That's kind of nuts. 120-second reload time and 3 charges. And then, of course, you get the emergency engine power. 105-second total usage time, with a 30-second reload time and a minimum usage time of 15 seconds. Okay, dang. Alright, this thing's pretty cracked. This looks like, is this just the Zeton hull, but without the Star Destroyer superstructure? That kind of is what it looks like. Can't be sure. I mean, it looks very Zeton-y, Germany in the front. But looks like they messed with the midsection a bit. Again, you know, we'll see when, you know, it gets added to the game. We'll pull it up side by side to the Zeton and see what they stole here. This is definitely an FDG hull on this next guy here. The Gustav den Stor, the Tier 9. A fast battleship capable of confronting the capital ships of Sweden's potential adversaries, which could have been ordered as part of an emergency shipbuilding measure at the height of World War II. Her main armament, 9 15-inch guns, is supplemented by the dual-purpose and AA artillery systems that the Swedish Navy had in the early 1940s. The ship is named in honor of the great Swedish king of the 17th century, a name inherited from a ship of the line of the 19th century, so the Gustav den Stor. 62,700 maximum HP. Of course, you know, you can pop the flag on that, get a little bit more. 32mm plating, 20% torpedo damage reduction. 9 15-inch guns. Very small guns for Tier 9. I mean, again, that's the whole point of the line, but yeah. Firing range, 20.8 kilometers. What's the Sigma? Sigma is 1.8. Okay. Maximum AP shell damage, 11,400. 750 meters a second. Velocity out to the barrels. And 4x3, 533s, 12 kilometer range. Really good torps. Again, that's the whole thing of the line, but that is really good torps. 12 kilometer torps, 65 knot top speed, 100 second reload time. And yeah, okay. Secondaries, maximum range 7 kilometers. So yeah, you get 12 of the 120s. They only pin 20 millimeters of armor. So yeah, that doesn't sound too great unless they mix it up there. 31 knot top speed and 14.1 kilometer concealment. So with the commander skill, yeah, again, you're getting that down to like 11 kilometers. So that's pretty nuts. All right. So again, damage count, repair party, surveillance radar, getting 30-second 10-kilometer radar, and the emergency engine boost. All right, then the Thor.
Thor, buddy.
Greetings, O'Neill.
It's good to see you up and around.
A hypothetical design of a powerful battleship with a 406mm main battery, the most modern AA systems in the post-war period. So I like to think they'll have good AA. The development and implementation of the project at the turn of the 1940s and 1950s could have supported Sweden's status as the strongest Baltic naval power at the time. The battleship was named after the legendary god from the Norse mythology, inheriting it from the coastal defense ship that served in the Swedish Navy from the late 1890s to the late 1930s. Alright, this is definitely GK's nose here. They stole that from my poor GK and cut into its sides to make these torps. Those torps are very well protected. You know, you got those cutouts in the hull, and then you've got the frickin' Smolin guns on top of them. Okay, this is definitely a GK that they cut up, and these turrets are new, though. So is the superstructure. Look at this superstructure, though. I mean, like, I thought the last one was pretty bad. I didn't say anything about it though, but I mean, like, this is just like, looks like someone, something. I went back to the Gustavden store, and it's just like, I made that in Minecraft probably when I was younger. Oh my god, it's just so square and ugly. Good lord. I don't know what the Swedes were up to, but jeez. I thought the Zumwalts looked ugly, you know. These guys take the cake. Alright, the Thor. So, 72,700 HP. Very low HP for a tier 10, but again, supposed to have good armor. It does have 32mm plating, of course. 21% torpedo damage reduction. You do get 9 16-inch guns now, 406mm guns. 21.7 kilometer firing range, reload time of 30 seconds. What's the Sigma? 1.8 Sigma. Okay. 4x4, the 533mm torps, 12 kilometer torps, 70 knot top speed, 100 second reload time. Not bad. I mean, again, these are great torps to have on a battleship. You know, in 100 seconds, of course, if you really want to, you can build into it and get it down even faster. 33 knots, though. Pretty quick ship there. 14.6 kilometer concealment. Again, when you put a build on it, that's going to be in the 11, 12-ish range. Damage con, repair party, surveillance radar. It's the same, 30-second, 10-kilometer radar. And then emergency engine power. But wait, dear viewers, there's more. Even after this nonsense, we got a couple of premium ships coming out with these guys as well. So the first one is the Torgat Ries. The ship is named after a famous Ottoman naval commander in the first third of the 20th century. This name was borne by one of the pre-dreadnought battleships of the Ottoman Navy. Torgat Ries is armed with powerful 419mm main guns with an unusual layout. 2 double-barreled turrets in the bow and 1 triple-barreled in the stern. Unlike the new tech tree European battleships, Torgat Ries bets more on her main guns and their power. While their maximum range is moderate and reload time is long, she has pretty good accuracy to strike the enemy right in their heart. That said, although she's equipped with torpedoes, they are your only weapon of last resort. They are only your weapon of last resort. Torgat Ries is a fast battleship and has good concealment for a tier, allowing effective tactical repositioning in battle to find the best targets for her 7 guns. Surveillance radar with a fast reload and short duration will help you with this as well. So it's got like the destroyer radar. Additionally, the fast reloading radar can help scan for looming threats often, as she has a small HP pool like her tech tree counterparts, and her armor is somewhat weak. You want to detect possible threats beforehand and avoid them. In battle, you should play at medium range and pick carefully where to strike with your highly accurate guns and make every shot count. Use your speed and low detectability to escape especially dangerous situations and abstain from duels with more durable enemy battleships. So it's like Tier 8 Slava, right? That's what it sounds like. Oh yeah, 16mm plating. Yeah, this is a Tier 8 Slava. Okay, with the 419mm guns. Yeah, 1.9 Sigma, 35-second reload time. Yep. Slava, but Turkish. Turkish Slava. All right, that's interesting. I'm sure that's exactly what Tier 8 needs right now. You don't get the engine boost. You just get damage con, repair party, and then that surveillance radar. Yeah, 15-second surveillance radar, 10-kilometer range. It's still, I mean, the range is still good for Tier 8, but 15 seconds quite short, especially when, again, remember there's a 6-second delay between your team seeing the ship. All right. And then we have the Italian cruiser Messina, which is a Tier 9. The ship, whose design is based on a heavy cruiser's hull, is named after one of the important coastal cities in Sicily. Messina carries 9 152mm dual-purpose main battery guns placed in 3 triple turrets, armed with only sap shells but capable of dishing out considerable damage per minute over medium range. Combine this with the ship's high speed for a cruiser and a decent concealment, you get a light cruiser suitable for quick and stealthy repositioning while peppering opponents with a steady stream of shells at range. But that doesn't mean that Messina only shines in artillery shell exchanges. She's equipped with heavily damaging torpedoes on both sides, as well as improved hydroacoustic search with a longer range to take the battle right to the enemy's doorstep. Moreover, her exhaust smoke generator could help to bring her closer to unsuspecting foes and get out of harm's way if it gets too hot. And General Messina will find her place in the fleet of a captain who prefers to battle on medium range with maneuvering and fast shooting ships, but doesn't mind getting in close quarters fights when the situation arises. So it's like a big Paulo Emilio maybe. So let's see. Artillery 3x3 152s. What's the reload time there? 8 seconds. It's pretty good. These are sap shells, so they can pin 42 millimeters of armor. They're doing 3,850 damage maximum with those shells. Oh, yeah. They're not kidding about the torps. 2x4 533s with 20,000 maximum damage. Very nice. But only an 8-kilometer range, 72 knot top speed, and a 140-second reload time. Let's see what she gets. Damage con, repair party, exhaust smoke, hydro, and fighter. Her hydro is a 6-kilometer fighter, 6-kilometer range with a duration time of 120 seconds. Get the exhaust smoke too, so you can kind of walk toward the enemy team with that, if all goes well. All right, and they're showing us what the Lanzau looks like now, and the Nuremberg 44, or their camos, I should say. All right, cool. All right, the Commonwealth Unique Commander. The Commonwealth will get its own unique commander, John Augustine Collins. During World War II, he fought with distinction in the Mediterranean and the Pacific, commanding 2 major Australian cruisers, Sweeney, and Shropshire, okay, as well as the Australian Naval Squadron. After the war, Collins served as the head of the whole Australian Navy with the title of Chief of Naval Staff. In World Warships, Collins will come to life as a unique commander during 14.10. He will be in testing only with the following enhanced skills. For aircraft carriers, aircraft armor, continuous AA damage reduction is at 12.5% instead of 10%. For battleships, cruisers, and destroyers, adrenaline rush reduction of total time for all armaments per 1% of HP loss is 0.25 instead of 0.2. Now, those are pretty lovely skills. And his talents, Rise and Fight Again, activates once per battle when the ship's HP drops to 10% and provides a 2% per second healing for 5 seconds. So you get 10% of your HP back. So sounds extremely similar to what's-his-face's Will to Victory skill, okay? Tria Juncta in Uno. Triggers up to 3 times when you deal 60,000 damage and increases maximum ship speed by 2% and consumable duration by 5%. We will reveal his in-game portrait later, and he'll have a default portrait during the testing. Okay, I mean, those are pretty useful skills. I mean, when you're playing Commonwealth cruisers, they do tend to get down to 10% HP, so that's nice to have in your back pocket, along with his speed boost. 60,000 damage is not really hard to do. I mean, and if you get, 180,000 damage, you've got all of it. You get a 6% speed boost and a 15% buff to your consumables duration time. And that does apply to heals, so that's that much more healing you can get done with that skill going. Okay, so, the Pan-European Battleships. Very interesting guys here. So let's see. Their whole thing is what? The main battery guns and the torpedoes? So let's see. The medium torpedo choice. Their small main guns are not the immediate weapon of choice in the long rear time medium maximum range. That said, the top of the branch have great ballistics, being more forgiving and rewarding with landing shots. So Thor's about the main guns, but the rest of the line are not. It's all about the torpedoes. So, which makes sense as to why the torpedoes were so good. I mean, like with the Carl the 14th Johann, yeah, the torpedoes are really good on that ship, and I wouldn't say they're the main source of damage because, the secondaries, the main battery guns are good, but these guys looks like they really are leaning into the torps there. I mean, again, it says so in the description there, but I mean, battleships really are meant to be about the main battery guns, and I mean, like, these guys have smaller guns for their tier, but it seems like they're still going to be fairly useful, obviously. But the torpedoes, I mean, yeah, the torpedoes seem to be really good. And with most of these ranges, you'll be able to, I think at the top tier, it sounds like you'll be able to stealth torp with the tier 9 and the tier 10, because the range of these torps, like the tier 10, for example, 12 kilometer maximum, 12.5 kilometer maximum range for the torps with the Thor. I'm looking right at it. No, it's 12 kilometers, okay? And then the concealment's at 14 kilometers and change with just in the DevBlog without a build. So yeah, you'll be able to do a little bit of stealth torping, not a lot of bit of stealth torping, but a little bit of stealth torping there with the Thor. So I'm interested to see how these guys play and how they do in their development cycle, because of course this can all change. This is all just the initial stats. This is all in testing. This can and probably will change before it gets to the live server. So my interest has peaked for sure. This is a very interesting battleship line, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what condition they do come out in. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think about these new battleships? Are you guys excited for them, or you're just kind of like, oh, ooh, they're torpedo battleships and not battleships? So we know that and more in the comments down below, and of course about the 2 new premiums as well. Radar 2, pretty crazy that these guys get radar. Tech line battleship radar. That's something. I'll be surprised if they let them keep that, because they tried that with the Soviet battleships. Although, that was a little bit crazier. It was like 16-kilometer range, but the radar only detected battleships and aircraft carriers. So, you know what? Again, let's see if they get to keep it. We don't know if they will. Again, lots of stuff can happen during testing, so we shall see. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go down below, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We will be live streaming right here on the channel tonight and on Twitch around 5 p.m. U.S. Central Time. So make sure you guys come out for that. Hope you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend. I hope to catch you guys in the next one.